Welcome to On Fighting in Thailand, the best news and analysis covering the economics and infrastructure of Muay Thai. I'm Matt Lucas, journalist, commentator, and ex-Muay Thai fighter. Make stronger fighters, make stronger people. In this episode, we talked to Chano Nurmakin, who is the CEO of Fairtex Equipment. He's been with the company for over 19 years, from when it started at 7 employees to now 400. He has a lot of insight into the company, into the industry, and we hit on a bunch of different points that I think are really, really valuable, including branding, promotion, and what he's looking for in terms of target marketing, the importance of listening to your customers. So without further ado, the interview with Chano. So thank you, Chano, for taking your time out today. How are you doing?
Thank you, Matt. I'm pretty good at this point. Yeah, everything is difficult due to the COVID situation, but yeah, I'm still being fine.
Good. So let's get right into it. How did you initially get working with Fairtex? I know you've been with the company for a long time.
Yeah, this year I get involved with Fairtex for 19 years. Yeah. How do I start with Fairtex? Before I joined Fairtex, my passion is a sport, but it's other sport. I have no idea about martial art. Yeah, but I think martial art is interesting. So my martial arts skill and my interest in martial arts start at the same time with Fairtex. So I joined Fairtex as a normal employee, yes, and then I spend my time, and at the end I love the sport, and I would like to become a part of the sport and part of Fairtex, of course.
Mm-hmm. And what other sports did you play to begin with?
Some other sport like swimming, running, fitness. Yeah.
And now you do BJJ regularly, right?
Yes, of course. I think it has been 8 years already that I practice BJJ.
Mm-hmm. And you are a purple belt?
Yeah, blue belt, 4 stripe.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you've competed as well, correct?
Yeah, I competed time to time when I had a chance. Yeah.
So, having been with the company for so long, how has it changed over time? What are some of the sort of milestones in it?
It has been changed a lot. Well, from 7 people company turned into like 400 worker company. So it has been changed a lot through time. We have a great expansion, right? So our industry and our company is different from other industry because it's really rely on human more than matching. Yes. So in other words, it's a craftsmanship. So in order to turn a 7 people company into 400 worker who has a skill, who has a craftsmanship, it takes a lot of things. So now Fairtex is has a lot of expansion.
How did you teach a lot of the workers the skills and sort of craft to make things like the pads and the bags?
We have a training department. It means that every time we got a brand new employee, we will send them to a training department. In the training department, we will have all the resources ready to train people. Previously, this process is very difficult. That's why people come and go and rotate maybe to other companies sometimes. So we decide to develop a training center in order to solve this problem. So every time we get a brand new customer, it may take just a couple months to train some certain tasks that we need them to do. So it's composed of the training in the class and on-the-job trainings, something like that.
And I know you said like one of the big points for that makes Fairtex different is the level of craftsmanship.
Yes.
But are there other things that make Fairtex different from the other martial arts and equipment companies?
I would say that thing that differentiates one certain company from the other company is total experience. In the other words, I would say that it's the branding. The branding of each company make a certain company different from the other. So the total experience composed of quality, service, satisfaction. Any experience that customer has with Fairtex is a total experience, and that's the thing that differentiates Fairtex from the other company.
Mm-hmm.
So other than the craftsmanship, yeah, you can say quality, service, product innovation, and some other thing which is create the total experience that customer happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the things I think is really, even before I started working at Fairtex, Fairtex has always been known for very high quality gear and having high quality fighters. How do you think you've developed that as part of the Fairtex reputation?
Those kinds of quality is developed according to customer feedback. Yes. When we sell the merchandise, we get the feedback from the customer, and then we improve it according to customer feedback. So customer is the target market who tell us what they need, and now we process those kinds of information and make our merchandise improve, make the service improve, make everything improve according to customer feedback. So we listen to the customer.
Yeah. Definitely one of the other points you pointed out was just the product innovation. Fairtex has come out with a lot of the new products, so for MMA, the Maddox, or a lot of different types of heavy bags as well. The teardrop bag, I think is a definitive Fairtex product. What are some of the other things that Fairtex has innovated and produced that have been new to the martial arts world?
Yeah, well, the most well-known one is probably the grabbing dummy. It's called Mad Dog. I think most of people know Mad Dog. I think before we developed the grabbing dummy, we have done the research that we found out that there are only 5 dummy in the world. Only 5 dummy in the world. So we decided to do something so people can have the training partner at home, right? So we developed our own version. So it's pretty weird at that time to launch that kind of product to the market, and it's questionable sometimes to the customer, especially our distributor, how they gonna sell it, right? Because it's pretty new to the market too. We spent some time to educate the market, the customer, how you can have the benefit with the dummy, right? I think right now is one of the standard merchandise to the MMA and BJJ market, right? Especially when you have to train at home. Now you totally understand why do you need the dummy. Because previously people just say, why I need a dummy? Because I train with my training partner at the gym. That's better. But now you exactly know why you need the dummy when you have to train at home, right? And this can happen again. And it's actually solved a lot of problems too. Like if you have to teach women cage, or in the class only is a private class, only the trainer and the student. You need a dummy for demonstration, something like that. That's one of the most successful products, and we have such kind of product a lot, such as freestanding bag. The freestanding bag, which is a foam bed without the water on the base, is a totally brand new thing at that time, right? Because the one available in the market, they all fill the base with the water, but our version is totally the foam. So you can kick at the base, because in Muay Thai it's important to practice a low kick. You cannot do that with a water base, freestanding base, something like that. So basically, we develop a product to solve the problem of our customer. That's how we have product innovation and new product development.
And how do you know what the problems of your customers are?
Easy, because Fairtex is probably the only manufacturer that run one of the biggest Muay Thai camp in Pattaya, and we distribute the products to people more than 40 countries. So feedback fly around all the time and send back to me. So they will talk about our gear. They will suggest us about a new gear that we don't have. They will talk about that problem and need us to solve it. So that's how we know which product that we have to develop. And it's about the market too. Yeah, we try to enter into different markets, so it means that we have to develop a new product according to the market that we are entering to.
What are some of the new markets that you're entering into? Because you've very much established Fairtex and Muay Thai and MMA. What are some of the other sports you're interested in getting involved in?
Well, a good example lately is BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because the image of Fairtex is, of course, a Muay Thai company. Yeah. So, but that's not our plan. We plan to enter into other kind of sports too. Lately, we entered to BJJ. We have BJJ gi, we have BJJ belt, right? We have a merchandise that serve the BJJ market, and we sponsor BJJ athletes too, and we have some marketing campaign, advertising campaign for BJJ market, and now we also enter boxing market. We start to have a boxing merchandise. We start to have a business partner, which is a boxing company, a true boxing company, for example. So we're going to create more activity in different market. Yeah. And in the future, we'll have plan to enter to other kinds of martial arts too. Yeah.
So you've obviously been going back a little bit to just Muay Thai. You've been in the Muay Thai industry for a long time, and you've traveled over to America as well. How would you say the Muay Thai industry is in Thailand, and how is it, internationally?
I would say that the Muay Thai industry in other countries is mainly the sport. It's a pure sport. But in Thailand, I will divide the industry into two parts. First, it's a pure sport, just like other country. You practice Muay Thai for exercise, for self-defense, and for your recreation. The other part is a business, which includes gambling too. So that's the difference. Because in the other country, it's mainly the sport. Right? But in Thailand, it's different.
And do you feel like Fairtex markets to the different audiences in Thailand, the business side and the sports side, or do you mainly focus on the sports side?
Of course, we focus on the sports side.
And why is that?
Because the sport itself is designed for exercise, self-defense, recreation, which is a sport. So, and this is the passion of everyone who get involved with Muay Thai. So we should focus on that thing.
And you've obviously been working with the company for a long time, which we already mentioned. You've been very successful in growing the company. You know, we're sitting here at Bang Pli, which used to be the site of the gym itself, but the factory got too big and things shifted. The training center shifted over to Pattaya, and managing all those people is a lot to deal with. But what are some of the difficulties of dealing with everything that people don't necessarily see?
Yeah, like I said, we rely on human more than machine. Because of we would like to maintain our quality, and the other reason is a unique market. You cannot use machine on some step of the production. So, being said, that's the difficulty. When you turn your company to have an expansion, right? And you have to serve the mass market, but you cannot use machine. It's like a conflict of interest, right? Because it means that you have a huge demand that's waiting for you, but your production cannot use machines. So that's the difficulty, because in fact all the manufacturing company will use a machine in order to respond to the changing market, right? So but like I said, this is a unique market which is pretty different from other mass production company. So that's one of the difficulty that people never see.
And I think Fairtex has been successful, but do you think Fairtex has been successful, and how do you measure the success of the company?
Yeah, we measure the success by two things. First is simple, is happiness. The happiness of the team, the happiness of the customer. When we produce the merchandise and people happy, we are happy too. That's the first success. Secondly, we measure it by the number, just like other business entity, right? So it means that we have bookkeeping, we have to measure the total sales, the net profit margin, those kind of figures. That's measure your success, because you are a business entity.
Yeah.
Right.
At the end of the day, a lot of it is about numbers to some extent. But I like that you definitely put an emphasis on the happiness of the team and of course the customer.
Of course, because we also use those kind of equipment too. The equipment that we have produced by ourselves. If we not happy with our equipment, how come the other people will be happy with it? Yeah,
I've seen you in the Fairtex gi before. It looks really good.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
So I wear it. Every class I only wear Fairtex, of course.
Yeah, and I use the Fairtex gloves, obviously, and I have a lot of Fairtex apparel, and I do like it a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
It's one of the reasons why I really do enjoy working here, is because there's that level of quality and craft to everything that's made.
Of course.
So, what are some of the goals of the company on the equipment times, both in short and long term?
Short term, right now, we try to enter into other martial art. We have been done to BJJ, boxing, MMA. The future plan, we look at the karate, taekwondo market too. That's a short-term plan. And the long-term plan, the ultimate goal, we would like Fairtex to become a lifestyle brand. It means martial art can be your everyday lifestyle. So it's not only the equipment; it can be clothing too, accessories too. Yeah, because our strongest image is Muay Thai. I don't think a bunch of company out there has this kind of image. If everyone has their own position, and Fairtex is in the position that have a good branding and a good positioning in the market, a good image of Muay Thai that can turn it into something else, which is the business in other market. That's the ultimate goal.
And you've definitely made some strides in the lifestyle sort of market, but what do you think are things that Fairtex has done to sort of change a little bit from just being solely martial arts and into more lifestyle?
In the market right now, you will see a lot of sport company that's selling a lifestyle merchandise too. Yeah, it has been success for them. But when the word martial arts getting involved, it does not mean that you can sell anything if people do not believe in the brand image. So some certain company try to sell a martial art product, but they don't have the brand image of the martial arts, you know. So that's the thing that I'm talking about. In order to turn Fairtex into the lifestyle company, you need a branding that people believe, right? Same thing. If I sell the merchandise, which is look like it's come from other industry, even though I produce the best products, no one gonna buy from Fairtex because we don't have the brand image of those merchandise. Right? We have spent 40 years to develop the brand image, so we will use that kind of thing in order to turn Fairtex into something else in different business, in different market. But we stick to the backbone of the company, which is martial arts and Muay Thai. Yes.
And I think a big part of the brand and how the brand image has been the athletes associated with Fairtex. You know, Yachts and Clyde.
Yes.
You know, its Stamp obviously is a big figure right now. How do you feel the Fairtex has used athletes to promote the brand?
We use it a lot. Our athletes play an important role in advertising, marketing, and promotion. Right? Because our team go out and fight around the world. Of course, that's a brand exposure. So we use them a lot to promote the merchandise, the branding itself.
And what do you think are some of the pros and cons of using athletes to promote the brand? I know you said one of the pros is definitely that you get a lot of exposure because people like Stamp are fighting in Singapore. They're fighting on one championship. There's a lot of eyeballs.
Yeah.
But what are some other pros and cons?
Well, the pros is if they behave, that's good for you, good for everyone, right?
Uh-huh.
But this is opposite. That it's not a good representation of the brand at the same time.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's the two sides of the coin, right?
Yeah, there's a definite human factor.
Of course.
You know, everyone, makes mistakes sometimes, and it can impact the brand's image.
Exactly.
Exactly. But also, someone like Stamp brings a lot of lively energy to the company. She's always smiling. She's really fun,
Yes,
and it gives like the entire brand a little bit of an uplift.
Sure.
Who do you think are some of the most successful athletes that Fairtex has worked with, and why did you like working with them?
Yeah, two factors. First is depending on how popular they are. The second is depending on the characteristics of themselves. In my opinion, I think first Fairtex athlete that play important role in advertising and promotion is Yo Sankai.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, everyone knows he's an idol. He's a key fighter of Fairtex. And second is Stan Fairtex, of course. Yeah. So it's like a two different generation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But I don't mean that other fighters do not play important role in this sport. Everyone play important role, but one certain fighter or couple fighter will like standing out in terms of advertising, right?
And why do you think Yatsen Klai and Stamp sort of stand out a little more?
Because both of them is outstanding fighter with the style, with the personal characteristics. Because Muay Thai is an entertaining business, So characteristic is play important role in this industry too. But basically, it's because of that skill, right? But of course, their performance on the ring.
As always, if you'd like to follow me, you can do so on Instagram, Matt Lucas Muay Thai. I always respond to messages there. I also have the website, matt-lucas.com, or email me at a.matt.lucas@gmail.com. Thanks to all the people that have supported me so far, sharing the podcast, leaving reviews. If you'd like to leave a review, that would be super helpful. You can do so on the iTunes store. After years of hard work, studying, and being in the game, I published I'm Fighting in Thailand, a guide to the sport in the motherland. Is a Muay Thai encyclopedia. It goes over scoring, matchmaking, picking gym, fight styles, gambling, Muay Thai culture, and more. It contains a series of interviews with long-term expat fighters, including Michael Savas, Willie Whipple, Lisa Brealey, Angela Chang, and others. It is a great guide, educates, and helps guide careers by helping save fighters from costly mistakes. It is a definitive guide and is available on Amazon as an ebook and in print. So go check it out. I'm Fighting in Thailand, a guide to the sport in the motherland. And you've also worked with other foreign athletes. You recently sponsored Eddie Alvarez, Rocky Ogden,
Yes.
Josh Tana, of course, and Alma. What has it been like working with foreign fighters and foreign athletes?
Yeah, we have select the key fighter from each country that will affect each certain market. So that's why we select Eddie Alvarez for the US market and the Australian fighter for the Australian market. So not only these fighters, we have some more from different country around the world. So basically we just select a couple fighter which is the big influencer of each country to work with.
And do you find that the different athletes have sort of different characteristics?
Of course.
You know, and how does that play into the company?
I think it's fun. Everyone has like totally different characteristics. So and you adding up all those characteristics to your portfolio, to your stock. So it's turned out like you have a different flavor to taste. Yeah, like I said, it's an entertaining business. You need a different flavor at the same time, so it's not boring.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And one of the big things Fairtex has done over the years has been a big part or a big role in different promotions. What has Fairtex been a part of in terms of promotions over the years, and how has that changed?
We pretty aggressive as a sport, so that's why we have been work with many organizations around the world from different industries too. Nothing has been changed lately. We're still working with one championship, Ori kickboxing, and we even add on more promotion to work with, such as quintet, grappling in Japan, rebellion in Australia. There are some certain shows that we are discussing too. So basically, we are developing a new network all the time, which is we have been working together to promote the sport itself and to promote our brand.
And I know that you get a lot of requests and sort of requests to be partnered with Fairtex for promotions. But what do you look for? Why is, say, Rebellion a good choice for Fairtex, or One Championship or Glory? What do you look for when you are looking to make a partnership with a promotion?
Yeah, two things. First is the attitudes. Second is the business condition. So first of all, we would like to work with a group of people who has the same attitudes as Fairtex, of course, so we can work together. The second is the business conditions, right? The image of the organization itself, and some other business condition in the contract. That's the two things that we have to consider.
Yeah, and one of the most successful partnerships you've had lately is with One Championship. How long has Fairtex been working with them for, and what has that relationship been like?
I think it has been more than 10 years, because we have worked with this group of people since they call themselves a martial combat, which is probably the first official MMA show in Singapore, right? So I can say that it's more than a network. It's like a family, because we have long-term relationship with them from now, and it's long-term. Yeah. So I would say like it takes time to develop that kind of relationship with someone, but we saw everything from day one with One Championship. So I think it's a great cooperation with them.
Yeah, I mean, 10 years is a long time, especially considering One Championship's sort of growth over the last 2 or 3 years. It's really exploded. Did you foresee that happening, and what is it like for you to sort of grow a promotion to really explode?
Yeah, I saw it. Everyone saw it. That one is expanding a lot, and it's a big organization right now. Yeah. So, but we're still having a long-term relationship with one championship, no matter how they grow themselves, right? Like I said, it's a network of family. Yeah. So we still having a lot of project with one, and you will see it soon.
Yeah. I'm definitely excited about that. One of the other big promotions in the Muay Thai world you sponsor that you talked about is Rebellion.
Yes.
How did that come about? What is that relationship like?
Rebellion is voted as the best Muay Thai promotion in Australia lately. So that being said, right? And of course, I mentioned before that we would like to work with people who have the same attitudes as Fairtex. And Sides, the promoter of Rebellion, is a very good guy. He's a friend, you know. So we have discussed with him. It's just simple, right? So we select Rebellion because of the business condition and the attitude.
Yeah, definitely one of the reasons why I sort of started following Rebellion before I started working at Fairtex was because I saw Fairtex sponsored them, and I was like, oh, it's probably going to be a quality show.
Yeah.
And then when I saw the fights, I was like, it's quality fights as well.
Yes, of
So,
course.
the two work hand in hand a lot.
Yes.
What other shows does Fairtex sponsor? It sponsors Channel 7 and Kiat Pet, correct?
Yes, that's a local show in Thailand, but it's one of the most prestige show of Thailand. Yeah.
Yeah, and the sponsorship with Channel 7 is relatively new, correct?
Correct.
And what is that like? How did that come about?
Right now, Fairtex team is big, right? And other than the international show that we would like to get involved for our fighter to fight, we at this point need a local show for our fighter to fight in order to complete the whole portfolio of Fairtex, right? And like I said, it's one of the most prestige show of Thailand from one of the very well-known promoter of Thailand. So it has a lot of effect for the Thai market. Yeah. Previously, we never been done anything with a local show because we focus on the international market. To the point that some people think that Fairtex is a US company. I think you heard about it before, right?
Yeah.
But now, thing has been changed. We have a lot of local customer, a local distributor. So domestic market played an important role for Fairtex as well as the international market. So we need an advertising and marketing campaign for a local market. So that's why we start talking to them and become a main sponsor for that kind of show and some certain show in Thailand too.
Yeah. Kiat Pet is another show that you also sponsor.
Yes.
What is that like?
Same thing. One of the most important show in Thailand, right? Same reason that we sponsor Kiat Pet.
Yeah. And one of the things you mentioned was the domestic market, and it definitely seems like Thailand's interest in sport and fitness is growing a lot. But how has Fairtex sort of began to target the domestic market more?
First of all, we developed the distribution channel for the local market. That's why you saw Fairtex retail shop in the prime locations of Thai department store. So it make it more easier for them to buy our product. That's not include the online channels too. They can buy Fairtex product very easy, right? It has been changed a lot lately for a local market because the sport itself has been grow a lot, and the factor of the business is ready. The facility is everywhere. You can train Muay Thai everywhere in Thailand right now, right? For exercise, for weight loss, and the facility is ready. The market is ready too. Many people choose Muay Thai over the treadmill at home right now. Even the business entities such as hotel in Thailand, working space in Thailand, they would like to hang the heavy bag in the place so people can join the sport instead of just putting the treadmill in their area. That's tell you how things has been changed a lot for a local market. Yeah, and Fairtex is part of it, and that push this kind of process to be faster. Right. We are the manufacturers. We are part of the business condition in this loop. Right.
Yeah, and I've definitely seen it more. More people getting involved in boxing in general. Shows like 10 versus 10 here in Thailand was a big deal. It is in some ways hard times for Thailand and the world with COVID, but Fairtex has done well during this period. Why do you think it has?
Yeah, we is very lucky that this market is a unique market, right? It has some effect when the COVID issues happen. But right now people adjust themselves. They train outdoor, they train at home, they even train online. So they consume the merchandise a lot, right? So during the COVID-19, we have run the company carefully, but for the market itself, I think it is picking up again, right? Especially right now when other country they can take care of the situation better, like people get injection from the vaccine, so it's the market is improved.
I think that there's going to be a little bit of a boom in the market soon, especially here in Thailand, because more people are understanding the value of exercise, and I'm getting more messages than normal about people wanting to come over to Thailand long term.
Yeah, because I think the sport is a mega trend. People take care of themselves, eat good food, do sport, take care of their health, and Muay Thai is part of this mega trend, right? So that's a big trend, and that's still having a lot of room to grow.
And recently, Fairtex celebrated 50 years.
Yes.
What has that been like, being with a company that's been around for 50 years? I feel like nowadays that doesn't really happen. Most companies don't last that long.
Yeah, we celebrate 50 years, of course, in the scope that we can do during the COVID-19, right? So we launched a limited edition of merchandise. We have a small party to celebrate it. Of course, 50 years is just like the middle way of the goal. Our ultimate goal is to become like 100 years company, right? So it's part of the event, of course, right? And we're proud of it. Now we can run the company and reach the 50 years, right? But the most important is to focus on what we have done lately. What was this the thing that make us this far? That's the thing that we are more interested than the 50-year anniversary, right?
Yeah. And what do you think are some of the key things that has led Fairtex to make it this far?
I think it's a consistency, of course, right? You cannot do things this long without a consistency. And why we have such a consistency? Simple, because this sport is passion. It's the everyday life of the management, of the employee, right? Afterward, we just go out and have emotional training. We train every day. So simple. So that's why we probably do it for the rest of our life. Right.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking your time out today. Is there anything that you would have wanted to talk about that we didn't get a chance to talk about?
Okay. Thank you, Matt, for today. Very appreciated. I don't have anything much. Just want to thank you for everyone who use our merchandise and everyone who get involved with Fairtex. We could not celebrate the 50 year without you guys. You are part of the success of this company, and I just would like you to know it. Thank you very much.
And if people want to follow along with Fairtex, where are good places to follow along?
Yeah, just follow the Fairtex Thailand fan page or our Instagram, Fairtex Thailand. That's the right spot to do.
Okay, thank you so much, Chano.
Thank you, man.
So that was a really great episode with Chano. I think he hit on a couple really interesting things. One of the real pros of Fairtex is the quality of its craftsmanship. It is definitely a human-produced project. That is obviously very good, but in some ways it's hard to scale. So it's an interesting sort of dynamic for him. Also, I thought it was really interesting talking to him about promoting shows and what he's looking for when he's looking to promote a show and partner with them. You know, the first thing, of course, is the numbers, but also there's the characteristics and how the show presents itself. Does it align with Fairtex or not? So it was really, really great to talk to Chano. I'm very happy to have had the chance to, and I hope you learned something. Definitely let me know what you thought of the show, and stay tuned for the next one. Thank you, as always, for listening. And once again, if you like this show and if you like the content, it would be great if you could share, leave a review on iTunes, and really support the show and what I'm doing here. If you'd like to reach me, you can follow me on Instagram at Lucas Muay Thai or email me at a.matt.lucas@gmail.com. As always, this has been On Fighting in Thailand, the best news and analysis covering the economics and infrastructure of Muay Thai. I'm Matt Lucas, journalist, commentator, and ex-Muay Thai fighter. Make stronger fighters, make stronger people.